video module on creating wow experiences in sales. Wow is a concept I first learned about within a Tom Peters book. I also learned about it within a book written by Tony, the head of the Zappos.com business that just got sold to Amazon.com a little while ago. Both of these people are very, very successful business leaders within their fields. And the whole concept of wow is really interesting because it's kind of a perspective changing way of doing sales or customer service or business management. And really the concept behind this is that instead of just satisfying somebody, if you really wow them and you impress them, over deliver to the point where they actually think, wow, that wasn't expected, or wow, that was great, that's a memorable, potentially emotional experience that's going to be etched into their memory much more than like, okay, yeah, that's what I expected. Oh yeah, the package got here on time. Oh yeah, that was good information at the conference. If you really wow the person, they want to come back. They want to work with you more probably. They want to buy your product again next year. They want to come to your next event, buy your next software release, etc. The trick is, how do you develop wow within your niche or industry? Everyone's different. Every challenge is different. Your competitors are different. So here's a few tips on how to do so. First, never settle for good enough. If you find yourself saying, oh, our product, it's good, people think our product's good, then that's not enough. If you don't have people emailing you saying, we love your product, here's a testimonial, then you have some work to do. Another rule of thumb is that if you get more than 1% of refunds or 1.5% of refunds, then you might not be wowing some of your clients. The big if here, though, is if you've focused your customer avatar well enough, the truth is you're going to be serving a niche within your market, and you want to wow that niche in your market. If other people buy your product as a side effect and they're not wowed, that might be just fine. But generally, your product, should describe exactly what it has before somebody buys, the benefits and results before they buy, and you should so over-deliver on all those components that your refund rates should go way down. We've had products in the past that had refund rates as high as 8 or 12%, and by constantly focusing on that customer avatar, getting feedback, listening to every complaint as feedback on how to improve that product, the better and better we made it, until eventually not only did we turn it around and go from having 8 to 12% of refunds to having less than 1% of refunds, we also did get testimonials voluntarily sent over by people that really benefited from that same product or service. And that was a real eye-opening experience for me, because I just realized it's an iterative process, and if you're not at wow yet, listen to every piece of feedback, consider putting in place the top, most common feedback that you get, and then be proactive in putting new creative solutions in place so that people get things they didn't even expect, but really appreciate, some really genuine advice on how to benefit more from the product or service they just bought from you. Maybe there's a video tutorial that your competitors don't provide and you've never provided before, but it would only take an hour to put together and an hour to edit. Now you've got a great video tutorial for your product. That would be something that might help wow the customer. Another tip is, actually the last story is a story about someone I met recently. His name is Jerry, and I was actually helping a family member work on his boat engine, and it's a 35-foot sailboat that is ocean ready, or will be ocean ready once we fix the engine up and finish working on it. But it was really interesting because the person who was helping us work on the engine used to be a fighter jet mechanic. After that he was a car mechanic. Now he actually lives on a huge sailboat and works on it nonstop. And it's funny because if you think about being in a fighter jet or being on a sailboat in the middle of the ocean in 20-foot swells, whether it's in the jet at 10,000 feet or in the ocean in your sailboat, you really don't want to have the engine break down on you. You really don't want to, lose altitude or start bringing on water onto the boat. Those can be really bad things to happen and could mean life or death. So it's interesting because when we were working on the boat engine with this person, Jerry, he actually said to us, because at one point we were fixing a valve on the engine and we thought that, perhaps the job we had done was good enough, it's tight enough. And he said, no, you can never settle for good enough. There is no good enough on a sailboat. And the point was really well taken in that, if you really want your boat to float in the stormiest of oceans, then it's not about being good enough, because good enough means 10% chance it might sink, but it'll probably be fine. Well, it's not good enough if you're at 10,000 feet going 1,000 miles per hour. It really has to be done right. It has to be done the right way. It has to be done, the triple checked way, the double secure way, the great way. And that, I believe, is a strategy for wowing your customers. Pretend like your product, your service, your company is a fighter jet or a boat engine, and there is no good enough. You have to do it the right way, the triple secure way, so that everything goes well for the customer, and you over deliver to them in so many ways that you're, in 3 different ways you're over delivering, not just one, but in many different ways. So I hope that story kind of helps relate to the perspective I'm trying to convey here and trying to wow your customer and totally over deliver to them. I hope this helps improve your sales by at least 1 more %. Lots of these sales videos are things you might have heard of before, but you could work at the next level, improve yourself, and get to that next plateau of sales performance. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's businesstraining.com, where you can earn master's level qualifications to help you make more money.